Hello everybody, Eliott5891 here with another KTANE module tutorial. As you may see here on the bomb, we're looking at Rubik's Cube today. Now this one is a very recent module. It's also going to be a tricky one to explain, so I'm actually going to go through all the steps as a diffuser, then I'm going to go back and talk about how to expert it. So I'll have a link in the description if you get the diffusing part pretty well, if you want to just skip to the experting part. Otherwise, let's talk about this from a diffuser's perspective to start. On a Rubik's Cube, obviously you've got 6 sides, and when you name a side, you always name it by whatever color is in the center piece, because that will never change. You can rotate the other sides, but that's kind of your standard secure block that's never going to move. So for this particular one, for example, the reset button is on the green side, orange side, yellow side, red side, orange side. That's the first thing that's important to know. The second thing is that these sides also have directional names. And your diffuser is going to be reading, or your expert rather, is going to be reading you answers in relation to those sides. Whatever, and this is in the manual, here and here. But whichever side has your reset button, this is your front of your Rubik's Cube. This is the front side. Likewise, the one on the other end, in this case my blue side, that is my back. So this is my front, and the blue side is my back. When you're looking at it, you've also got a left side, which is this one here, orange, a right side, which is on the opposite of the left, that one's yellow, an up, which is red, and a down, which is white under there. So we've got front, so when you first look at it, pull the sucker back up, you've got front, left, up, visible, and then you've got back over here, right over here, and down under here. Those are your 6 sides. Now when you first get this one, you're going to want to read to your expert what color those sides are. And I suggest, for simplicity, for A, just being consistent, and B, because it kind of relates to the order they need the pieces of information, that you read the up, left, front, right, down. So kind of in reading order. Up, left, front, right, down. So if I was doing this one and giving this to my expert, I would say, okay, I've got a Rubik's Cube. My colors are red, orange, green, yellow. Remember, we're looking at the center one. Yellow, white. Then you're going to give them some time. They're going to be ready to give you some answers. That's how you convey information. And at some point, they're going to be reading you stuff back. They're going to give you instructions. And these instructions, I've actually got a set here to solve this particular one. It's just going to be a letter corresponding to a side. So left, right, back, down, up. And it will either just be a letter, or it'll be a letter with a prime symbol, with an apostrophe, a prime. If it is just a letter, it is telling you that whichever side it's referring to, you want to spin it clockwise. If it has a prime, then once you do the opposite and spin it counterclockwise. So this is L prime. So it wants me to take this left face here. This is my left face. And it wants me to spin it counterclockwise. Now the way you actually get the bomb to do this, to give this command, is go to some side other than the left, maybe the front one here. And if I indicate this, it's going to spin this particular chunk, which is my left chunk here, in this direction. And if you'll see when I click this, it turned it counterclockwise. Likewise, I could have been up here at the top, grabbed still this same chunk, spun it counterclockwise that way as well. But if I try to do something on the left face itself, I'm not spinning that face, I'm just spinning whatever parts I'm grabbing. I can't do diagonals, I've got to do one piece at a time. So let's put that back. The reset button does actually undo your moves as you've done them, so that's kind of fun to watch. So let's go through this. Let's see how these moves would actually look. Left prime. So we're going to take the left side and we're going to turn it counterclockwise, so this direction. So we need to go, and we can actually do it on two different sides, so long as it's in a straight line. So counterclockwise. Then we're going to take the right side, which is back here, and we're going to turn it clockwise twice. So we want to turn it clockwise, so that's this direction, and we're going to do it twice. So 1, 2. Okay, my next instruction, back. So I want to turn the back clockwise. This is going to be a little trickier to see. I want to turn the back here clockwise, that's this direction. R prime. So I want to turn the right side counterclockwise now. So the right side, I want to turn it counterclockwise this time. D is for down, the bottom. The bottom is really hard to see, but I want to turn it clockwise. So that means I'm going to turn it this way. I don't think there's any way I'm going to get it to, maybe. Ugh. There we go. Then I'm going to turn up clockwise twice. So clockwise is this direction. Clockwise once, clockwise twice. I'm going to turn left counterclockwise, L prime, so left counterclockwise. And at this point you may actually kind of see the solution because everything's starting to line up. So left counterclockwise, and then down counterclockwise. And I mean you can see where to push this without actually worrying too much about watching the down spin, but for consistency's sake, boop. And notice that gives me a completed Rubik's Cube, which I can no longer click on. But that solves the Rubik's Cube. That's how you're going to interpret instructions. So let's spin one more. We're not actually going to solve it. So let's say we want to do left. So we're going to take the left face, turn it clockwise. Up would look like this, turning the top part clockwise. R, I want to take this right part and I want to turn it clockwise. If you're okay with spatial recognition, you can maybe see that would be turning it this direction if you were looking at that side. So this would be a clockwise turn. And let me spin it around and you'll see that's a clockwise turn. Likewise, say I want to get the back counterclockwise. If you can spatially visualize that, that's a counterclockwise turn on that face. And one thing that may make it easier, if I'm doing like a front clockwise, that would be moving it this direction. So to do a back clockwise, because I'm looking at it from the opposite angle, would be in the other direction. So this would be a back clockwise. Likewise, up clockwise is easy to see. So down clockwise would be the other direction. And same for left and right. Left clockwise, right clockwise. So this is a diffuser. That's what you need to be ready for. Now, let's say you're not a diffuser. Let's say you're an expert. You've got an interesting little challenge ahead of you too. Let's actually read one out, not the one that I've been playing with. Let's do this one. So, going back to what we said is the diffuser, you're going to read off the 5 sides in the order up, left, front, right, down. So, the colors are green, and remember we're looking at the center color, green, white, orange, red, blue. And as a note, these colors are randomly spawned, so in this particular case, white and red are on opposite ends. That's not always the case. That was not the case on this one here, for example, because red's on the back and white's on the right for this one. Although these two also were white and red opposites. But the same colors will not always be opposite, so you do need to give 5, and then you can kind of derive the 6 if needed. What are we going to do as the expert? We've got this information. Let's switch to where we're not worrying about looking at the Rubik's Cube. Step 1, we're going to start with table 1 on the right. We're going to observe the color of the up, L, and F, up, left, and front faces. Notice those are the first 3 that we were given by the diffuser. That's intentional. It's actually also in the same order that they're in this chart. We're going to observe the color. We're going to cycle each corresponding column down. A number of rows is specified in table 2. We'll go over what that means in just a second when we get there, but let's just record the numbers for those. So green is 4, white is 6, orange is 5. So we're going to keep those 3 numbers steady. Secondly, we're going to take the serial number. So we didn't grab the serial number on this bomb. Taking a quick look at it, however, the serial number for this bomb, I should have given this at the beginning, I apologize, is 315CL4. 315CL4. So the second thing, we're going to take the serial number and eliminate the character at the position corresponding to the color of the D face, again using table 2. So the down face was blue. Blue is number 2. So we're going to ignore the second character of our serial number. Gone. Poof, not going to use it. We're going to look up the other characters on the serial number in a modified table 1 per the third direction. But before we do that, let's actually kind of take a quick glance at these next 2 rules. If the R face is red, green, or blue, we're going to take both moves per serial character in order. If it's not one of those 3 colors, we're going to take the first move of each character, then the second move of each character. So this will become apparent as we actually start grabbing them, but we're going to take both moves per character. This other rule, or the next rule, if the R face is red or yellow, the right face is red, so this is true, we're going to change the first 5 moves to their opposites. First 5 opposites. Again, we'll take care of that as we get to it. If the R face is green or white, reverse the order of all the moves. It's not, it's red, so we don't have to worry about that rule. Now, how do we get the moves? What we're going to do is we're going to look up the 5 remaining characters in our serial number in this chart. So let's grab the first one, the 3. Here's 3. But we're not going to use the moves here. Remember the first rule said we're going to cycle the columns down a number of rows? That's where this number that we found earlier comes in. 3 is in the U column. The U column was supposed to be cycled down 4 rows. So instead of looking at this row for my moves, I'm going to cycle down 1, 2, 3, 4 and grab these moves instead. So my moves for the 3 in this particular case are R prime U. R prime U. That's skipping down 4 rows because this is in the first column, the U column, and the U column was a 4. Likewise, the next character is a 5. 5 is here. This is in the F column. F column is supposed to be cycled down 5 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my moves are U prime F, U prime F. Next up, C is here. That's in my U column, so we're going to cycle 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. B, R, B, R. Next character is an L. That's here. Again, U column, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. F prime, R prime. F prime, R prime. And notice I'm just grabbing both of these moves every time I get a character, because per the rules, I want to grab both moves per character. I will do an example where we don't use this rule so you can see the difference. That was L. Last up is 4. That's in the L column. The L column gets cycled 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's B prime, L prime. B prime, L prime. So I have 10 moves. I grabbed them in the order it wanted, both moves per character at once. But we have this part to deal with. The first 5, we want to do their opposites. Their opposites would be changing them from clockwise to counterclockwise. So if it's a prime, we get rid of the prime. If it's not a prime, we add a prime. So this becomes R, U prime, U, F prime, B prime. Just the first 5. This is our solution. So let's hop back over to the cube. And let's give this to our expert who's been waiting ever so patiently. That was this particular one. And we'll try to take it a little slow, make sure we get it correct. Like I say, if you mess something up, if you go through these steps and something does not look right, if you don't have a solved cube, either the expert has made a mistake in their movement, or the diffuser has made an error when doing their rotates. When you're new at this, both of those are very possible from experience. So I would suggest both sides. Maybe the expert looks back over his if he's confident, and the diffuser does it again. But let's look at what this would be. So we have R, so we're going to take the right face, turn it clockwise, up counterclockwise, and then up clockwise. Notice I do have this here, which is the 2 opposite moves. If I spin it counterclockwise and then I immediately spin it clockwise again, that's actually going to just cancel out. So we can skip that. Uh-oh. Spent too long. Let's see if we can finish this. F prime, so front counterclockwise. B prime, so the back counterclockwise. R, so this side clockwise. F prime, front counter. R prime, this side counter. B prime, this side counter. And L prime, this side counter. There we go. We've got a solved cube. We're going to detonate here in a second. Now you'll notice, even if I just play around with this, because there's no way I'm going to be able to solve another one in 16 seconds, much less 9. I'm not getting any strikes for not following the correct set of instructions. This is a module you can never actually get a strike on. As such, if you know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, you could, theoretically, if you wanted to, completely ignore the expert rules and just solve it like you would a Rubik's Cube. So long as you get to a completed Rubik's Cube, it's fine. Catch is, in my opinion, with the way it rotates on the bomb, it's a little tricky to go through these steps and actually solve it as a Rubik's Cube without a little more mobility. Alright, so let's retry. We'll do one more together, and then I'll give you one to do on your own. We will get the serial number first this time. Oh, it's right there too. Echo Kilo 6, Foxtrot Victor 1, EK6, FV1. And we'll do the one up in the top left corner again. So, again, you don't have to write these down, but I like to as I'm learning it, as I'm getting better at it. My sides, are orange, blue, green. Yellow, red. Alright. Let's again say goodbye to the bomb and go over the rules. We're going to need the numbers for the 3 up, left, front faces. Up is orange is 5, blue is 2, green is 4. So not quite as much movement as last time. Take the serial number, but eliminate the character at the position corresponding to the D face. D face is red. Red is 3, so we remove the third character. Goodbye, 6. We're going to skip step 3 till we get to the rest. If the R face is red, green, or blue, it is not. So this time we're going to take the first move of each character and then the second move of each character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do 2 rows as I look them all up, and then just put them together at the end. That way I don't have to do any double searching. So nothing here. If the R face is red or yellow, it is. Change the first 5 moves to their opposites, so we are going to do opposites of the first 5. 5, 5. First 5 opposites. If the R face is green or white, reverse, we don't have that. So let's look some stuff up. First character is an E. E is here. It's under my F column. F column was a 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. BR. BR. Notice I'm putting them on separate lines. Second character is a K. F column, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. RD. RD prime, sorry. R and D prime. Next up, F. F is here. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, R. D prime. Same move as last time. Next up, V. That's my, L column. L goes down 2 rows, so 1, and we're going to loop back up 2. That's L prime, F prime, L prime, F prime. And last up's the 1. Go down in the L column, go down 2 rows, 1, 2, UB. UB. So these are my first moves of each serial number. These are my second moves of each serial number. So now I can just stick them here at the end. But we need to make the first 5 opposites. So this was not a prime. It becomes a prime, becomes a prime, becomes a prime, loses a prime, becomes a prime. And that's my move sequence. So let's take a look at the bomb. Let's do these moves. Back counter, back prime, so back counterclockwise. Right count, or double right counter, so right counterclockwise twice. 1, 2. And as a side note, you don't have to worry about this, but if you do the same move twice in a row, like the right counterclockwise there, I could actually have done right clockwise twice and gotten the same solution, or the same steps, because a half turn is a half turn. L clockwise, up counter, right, down counter twice, so down counter twice. Again, didn't matter which direction, so just 2 spins. And you can probably see the solution here. I think it wants what, front counter, back forward. I'm going to do it the other way because I see the solution. Just need to spin those 2 columns into the correct order. And you can do that if you get to a part where you're like, in cut. And you can do that if you can get to a part where you're like, oh, well, I can see the solution from here. Just jump ahead and do it. Don't even give it a second thought. All right, last up, one more. Work this one out on your own. New bombs, we get the new serial number again. And we shall see what we get, and then we'll solve it together. They are scrambling now, and we have one. My colors are yellow, orange, white, green, red. Yellow, orange, white, green, red. And my serial number is HE0 WA0. Hotel Echo 0, Whiskey Alpha 0. Alright, go ahead and pause. See if you can work this one out. Alright, is this what you got? Let's work through it and then we'll solve it. Here are my 5 colors. We look up yellow, orange, and white in the table. That gives me 1, 5, 6. We're going to drop the character in the D position. D is red. That's 3. So we got rid of a 0. Too bad. Would have saved us the lookup. The right side is green. So per this rule, since it's green, we're going to take both moves in order of the serial character. And per this rule, at the end, we're going to reverse the order of all the moves. This one we did not hit before, so maybe threw you for a loop on that one. So we'll look them up. H is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My moves are F prime, R prime. E is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. RD. RD prime. Sorry, RD prime. W is here. Again, F column goes 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's LD. A is here. L column goes down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's BR. And last up's a 0 here. Goes in the U column, only goes down 1 row. D prime, U prime. D prime, U prime. And that was taking both characters as we went. And then we reverse it. So it becomes this sequence, which is just a mirror of the previous one. Just not a mirror, a reverse. And remember, if we have the same move and it's opposite back to back, they cancel out. We're not going to actually need to do that move. So here is what we're going to tell our diffuser. U prime. D prime. So we want to move. Whoa! I don't know what just happened there. Let's try that again. U prime. D prime. In case U prime. In case you didn't feel comfortable doing that one without seeing it. Tricky. Nope. Need to maybe be up here. No. There we go. U prime. R. And I'm intentionally showing the sides. You don't have to be showing a side when you actually rotate it. B. D. L. D prime. And F prime. And there we go. And that, my friends, is Rubik's Cube. As always, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the section down below. I hope this is one that does not give you too much trouble. It is, in my opinion, one of my favorites already. And it's only been out for a day as of the time of recording. Anyway, though, this has been Elias. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Don't explode. Bye, guys.